Hey peeps, how's it going? Today we're just going to carry on with the same format. I've had no complaints, so yeah, we'll carry on. So have a look at today's offering and let me know what you think in the comments. So you can have a proper look at it. Here is the Indian Scout. What do you think? Lots of chrome going on. It is a nice cruiser. You know, these things have been competing with Harley Davidson for years, so if you're in the market for a cruiser of this type, you're generally looking at Harley Davidson or Indian. Now, I know which side of the fence I sit on in those camps, but I do like to be thorough, check them all. So let's have a look at this bike. Right, so there is this big lump of an engine and these beautiful chrome pipes. Do like the look of them. What we've got is simplicity at its finest. On the left side, we've just got your high and low beam. We've got indicators which are self-cancelling as well, which I think is a nice touch. We've got your horn, and then the other side, we have got nothing more than your engine cut-off switch and your start button. It is very, very simple. As far as the screen goes, just your speedo. You can change this to a few different things, so we've got a button here that just changes what you're looking at, whether it's your trip computer or your amount of miles done, but you can just leave it on the rev meter, and that's all I'm going to do. We do have the gear indicator on the clock, but that is it. There's nothing fancy about this bike. It is just an old school bike and I like it. Anyway, I'm going to start the bike up so you can hear the sound that comes out of it. Not even going to try and talk while that thing's on because you won't hear me. It's absolutely shocking how loud this bike is. Now what do you think looks wise? I think it's a nice looking bike. Don't know whether I'd drool over it like I did do on one of my Harley videos. That was a bit sickening to watch. Certainly watching it back now I look like a love-struck teenager, but it's nice. Anyway, let's get riding, get some more done. So it is easy to manoeuvre, considering it's a heavy bike. Just nice and easy, just moving back with the feet. There is no mither with that whatsoever. While we're on the car park, gonna do a quick brake test. Okay, so rear brake. Let's give that a go. Okay, so that feels nice and sharp. And then front brake. So the front brake doesn't inspire confidence. Yeah, it's quite firm. You've got to really kind of put some pressure on it to get it to stop, but the back brake feels really good. So I think, let's have a look, both together. Yeah, both together, you're going to be able to stop the bike nice and quick if you need to in the emergency. What do you think of this bike? During the walk round, you've had a good look around it. What do you like and what do you not like? For me, I think it's a good looking bike. I don't know whether I could live with the sound of it. I like loud pipes, but this is a whole new level of loud. Just idling this bike, you can't hear yourself think it's quite possibly the loudest bike I've ever been on, ever. It is ridiculous how loud this bike is. Slightly different to the current Harleys that seem to be going quieter and quieter. This is the absolute opposite of that. Listen to that noise. Wow. This is your classic cruiser type riding position. You've got your feet forward, just as you'd expect. I mean, for me, I find these types of bikes really, really comfortable. I know it's not for everyone having your feet forward, but I really do like it. I find it one of those positions where you can just sit all day and you're just sat in a really comfortable chair. As far as the controls go, very, very basic. It is just a bike. You know, this does not have rider modes. It doesn't have all of those little things you can mess with. When I first saw the white, I thought it was a bit too showy for me, but I like it. I think it looks nice with the chrome. Black does look a little bit better with the chrome. I mean, again, personal preference. You may have you may prefer a different colour altogether, but I do like the black and chrome when you've got this type of bike. Now, the suspension is quite hard, but it's not uncomfortable. So you can't even hear the sirens over this. There's a lot of chrome work on here. There will be a lot of cleaning. But, you know, if you're buying a bike with loads of chrome, you obviously like that look of it. And I do think if you don't look after your chrome, it can look a bit tatty quite quickly, so there'd be a lot of polishing going on, and I don't like cleaning my bike. I don't mind giving it the little rub down now and then, but I don't know whether I could sit there for hours and get the polishing on. I like this little bag, however, whilst it's a nice little touch with the Indian tank bag, you're gonna fit probably your mobile phone in that and about, well, nothing else. It looks all right though, a bit different, isn't it? They keep seeing all these different bikes, and they've got 4 modes, 5 modes, 6 modes, personalised modes. Well, why? For me, you're either going to be riding it hard in the summer when the road conditions are good, or you're going to take it easy in the wet, and that's what this does. It, you know, it has just one mode, which is simple. Now, I have just noticed on this, there's no fuel gauge. And I do like a fuel gauge. I don't like having a bit of panic when that fuel light comes on. Obviously, if you're on a tour, you don't know when your next fuel stop's gonna be, and I find it a bit of an inconvenience not having the fuel gauge. But the more I ride this bike, it's very reminiscent of the Vulcan that I had after I'd changed the exhaust on it, and it went from sounding like a sewing machine to sounding like this. And sometimes you just have to, I won't say cringe, because I do like the sound. I like it being loud, and I am a firm believer in loud pipes save lives, because they do. People will notice you coming, certainly if they can hear you coming from, in this case, about 2 miles away. But when you're setting off for work at 5:30 in the morning and you start the bike up and you wake the entire street up, then it becomes a bit of an issue. And I think this bike would certainly do that, because this seems louder than that exhaust that I put on the Vulcan. Oh, see, loud pipes didn't have any issue at all with this clown. Like they can't see you, even though they've just piggin' looked right at you. Very, very frustrating. Anyway, so around town, this bike is nice and easy to maneuver. The type of bike, when you get to the corner, you're not thinking how fast I can get round this corner. You're thinking, ooh, what a lovely view I've got. Because it is just that type of bike. It's a cruiser. No, it's really, really low on the seat. The seat height is mega low. So if you are a bit vertically challenged like my good self, then you'd be happy with this bike, because I can put both feet on the floor, and there's quite a big bend in my leg as well. I genuinely think if you were a small child, you could probably get your feet down. It doesn't have my favourite thing in the world, which is heated grips. The only gadget this thing really has that comes to mind instantly is the self-cancelling indicators. That's the only thing that this bike seems to have, and they work well. I've used them a couple of times, albeit I still have to press the button because I don't entirely trust them. Because as you'll know when you're riding, you don't want to be going past a left turn with your left indicator on when you're not turning, because cars don't need an excuse to pull out in front of you, but an indicator will certainly make them. So it's just a habit thing for me. Automatic cancelling or not, I just will always give it a little press. Little habit. If I was to change this bike at all, because forget all of the gadgets and stuff that this is missing, I'm not overly bothered about that, because sometimes it's just nice to strip things back to basics. You know, if you're going out on a ride, just ride the bike. I don't want to be stopped fiddling with what mode I'm going to be in, so I do like that aspect of it. But if there was one thing I would like to change, it pains me to say it, but it's this exhaust. I cannot hear myself think. I can't. I like a loud exhaust, but this is like nothing else I've ever ridden that has come as standard. It's like it's got some obscene aftermarket exhaust on, and I don't know whether I could live with the actual sound of this bike. Everything else about it's nice, you know. I think it looks nice. It's nice and comfortable to ride. Example, there's a lot of noise, and that picked up about 5 miles an hour. But it sounds eventful. It sounds like you're going 1,000,000 miles an hour, and you're just not. But like my other reviews that I do, I'm not giving you loads of stats and facts and figures about this bike, because there's enough of that online already. I just want you guys to see what this bike is like to ride, and you know, I can confirm it is a lovely bike to ride. It rides really, really well. It's comfortable. The seating position is really nice. It moves around really nicely as well. Anyway, so it is just a quick initial impressions for this bike today, and yeah, I confirm everything I like about it, just apart from the noise. When I got back from the test ride on the Indian Scout, I had a good chat to the dealer about it, and it turns out that the exhaust that was on that bike, whilst it was a factory fitted exhaust, it is actually an option. It's not the standard one. So that, for me, is good news, because that bike was loud. I just couldn't deal with that every day. I know personal preference, some people like really, really loud. I like loud, but I don't like, I need to wear earplugs loud to actually enjoy the ride. So for me, it's a good thing, because it means that the bike is really, really nice, and it could do with the standard pipes for me, because it'll make it a bit more bearable. So that'll do. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Remember, like and subscribe, because the more the merrier. It helps the channel, helps me to improve. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.